China and Tibet, China and the Olympics. Not surprisingly, these two topics have intersected this year, and it's resulted in protest and debate. One person is often at the center of the discussion. His views revered by some, despised by others. This week, as the Beijing Games approach, he's our guest. Hello, I'm Peter Mansbridge. One-on-one today with the Dalai Lama. Holiness, awfully hard to tell what the situation is like inside Tibet now because of the restrictions on travel. But you have your contacts. What can you tell us about what's happening inside Tibet now?
I think at least 300 to 500 people killed, and then few thousand, at least, I think few thousand, 4,000, I think, already arrested. Then day by day, every night, the Chinese security personnel come and arrest.
Is that still going on now?
Oh, still.
So there's no indication that there's any sudden end or soon an end soon
in
to the crackdown?
Many, I think, many people appeal to the Chinese government, and I also appeal as soon as this situation started. I appealed directly to the Hu Jintao. I appealed the 19th or 20th last month. I appealed to the Chinese authority, highest authority. But now seems they also determined to crush.
The Chinese say that you organized these protests, that this came from you, that you asked for this to take place. You say no. You had nothing to do with the protests?
As soon as this sort of accusation happened, and I simply appealed to the world community, please go there, objectively investigate whether this crisis is started from outside Tibet or not. If we really created these things, then, of course, we deserve the punishment. And in fact, we, right from the beginning, we express seriously, although expression of resentment is non-violently, that's, everybody's sort of right, but should not indulge any violence. But I think generally Tibetan side is, I think, a non-violent way. But then sometimes I think the local Chinese security personnel, I think they make some kind of provocation. So some cases, I think some violence may happen. But at that time, I expressed very clearly, as I expressed 87, if the violence become out of control, majority of the people prefer a violent method, a violent way, then I have no other choice except resign.
Do you mean
this
that?
time also, I express.
But do you mean that when you say that? Because you have said it before. And I mean, like, what would have to happen for you to actually resign, to step down as the political leader, not the spiritual leader, the political leader?
Actually, political leadership, since 2001, we already have elected political leadership. Since then, my position already something semi-retired position.
Well, then what would you be stepping down from then?
If I completely resign, it's up to people. After all, this struggle, our struggle is Tibetan nation struggle, not something for Dalai Lama.
Can I ask you, when you say Tibetan nation, I want to try to understand what Tibet means to you. Obviously, it's your home. But is it a province of China? Is it a region of China? Is it a country of its own? What is it in your mind?
These four areas is traditionally in those Chinese provinces. Then autonomous region of Tibet, which liberated by Chinese government through peaceful means. So that previously, so that as government of India, if you consider, Tibet is autonomous region of People's Republic of China. I think that's sort of right description since 17-point agreement signed.
1951.
1951. Then eventually it's set up the autonomous region. So it is very correct according to present sort of reality. So we are not seeking separation. We are not seeking.
Now, why don't they believe you on that? Why did the Chinese not believe you? They say that you want independence and that you haven't clearly renounced full independence.
That's difficult to understand. It seems the Chinese government has always repeat since 7th century Tibet became part of China. That's in 60s, 70s, they say that. Now, later, I think perhaps 80s, then they did not mention it in that part, but since 13th century, Tibet became part of China. So now, history, there are different sort of versions or different viewpoints. So you see, my position is, don't talk about past history. Past is past. We cannot change past history. This is not a political decision. Political decision is future. Now, future is concerned, we fully committed Tibet remain within the People's Republic of China because our own interest. Tibet backward, materially, very, very backward. And every Tibetan, you see, want more modernized Tibet. So for that reason, remain within the People's Republic of China, we get greater benefit. Provided we have our own language, with that, our own cultural heritage, and very rich Buddhist tradition. So therefore, they provide we should have meaningful autonomy. That is the guarantee for preservation of Tibetan culture, Tibetan language, and rich Buddhist tradition. So that is our belief, and the majority of Tibetan also, you see, feel that approach is realistic and appropriate sort of approach. Of course, some Tibetans, inside as well as outside, very critical about that.
Right. Well, and I want to get to that. Well, we've got to take our first break right here, but when we come back, we'll have lots more one-on-one with the Dalai Lama.